Okay. So, everything should be working. Okay. Just gonna open up this so far. Okay. Well, hello everyone. My name is Sean Eisenhart. I am a 3D artist, and I will be working on my video game environment, which is a hunter's cabin, and I will be building it in Unreal Engine 4. This is my hunter's cabin. So I will be showcasing my process of how I go about building my hunter's cabin and the assets for it. And I'll also talk about the progress of where it was and where it's going to be going. And if you have any questions, I'll be sure to answer that along the way as well. But otherwise, I will be getting to my asset that I'm going to be working on today, which is my radio that I have here. So I'll be working on that as well as my television set, which I think I will be doing the television set first. So I'm going to hop open into Maya, and I'm going to start on that. This was my placeholder that I had. Not very smoothed out on some parts, so I'm going to be working on that. So I usually do a redo. I don't particularly like some of the things I did with this. So I'm going to kind of block it out once more. So I'm going to start with getting the dimensions just about right. So that's good. Oh, the screen is all black and laggy. Okay. Display 1. Hold on 1 second. Maybe I'm not on the right screen. Oh, this is why. I think now it will be fine. My apologies. Just a technical error, so now I believe it should be all good. Please tell me in the comments if there is any issues. So let's get this right around here. Easy? So it works? Okay, great. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so now what we have here with the television set is that it has a bit of an indent now. So we're going to get this, I guess, intrusion done. I'm going to do something along the lines of this. And pull it once more. Say this deep. Okay. And then we have to do one more for the actual television screen. So we're going to have to offset it a bit. Oops, that's not what I wanted. It's all about getting the dimensions the way that I want it to. And then moving on from there. So we're going to pull this back once more. We're going to give it a lot more depth so that we have room to fit another plane on top so that we can get this curve for the television set. So I'm going Let's see real quick. Okay, cool. Perfect. Maya looks so much more user friendly than 3ds Max every time, so it makes me want to give it a try. Go ahead, man. One thing I learned when I was in college is when you learn a new tool or new software or anything new, don't think like it's the be all end all. It's simply another tool, and that you should never be afraid from trying it out at least, because the more you know can't hurt you, you know. And if there's a better alternative, go for it. All it's going to do is help your productivity and to achieve what you want faster. I just personally got with Maya because that's what we were using in my game development course at college. Okay, that's not going to work. Let's just simply pull it over there. I simply just got into it. It was for me who during college never really experienced anything like that before. So it was a bit of a fresh start for me with 3D software, but after a while I got the hang of it. So it really is just time and dedication. And also preference. Like what do you prefer? If you prefer Max, go with Max. If you prefer Maya, go with Maya. Just do yeah, that looks nice. Perfect. And then we can get rid of this M gone because we don't need that. Cool beans. Cool beans. So now what we have with this, I feel Maya is gamifying the 3D modeling experience. Also using Maya opens up pretty much half the job opportunities as a 3D artist. That is true. That is true. But it can always vary. I mean, I see a lot of job openings where it's like, do you have like Moto experience, Mari experience, Houdini? Like now these are also VFX positions, so they use VFX programs, which Maya isn't necessarily known as the best VFX software, but it's depending on the situation. But yes, I won't disagree that a lot of careers in modeling as a 3D artist do involve using Maya. Does that mean that you're out of luck if you use Max? No. Because I believe that if you know Max really well, you can get Maya down pretty well as well. Okay, so it doesn't like these edges apparently. No, it's not a big deal. I'm going to squeeze that in a little bit to get a little bit of that inner curve right around here. Slowly it's either 3ds Max or Maya and some Blender knowledge. Yeah, I've seen Blender come up more often. Me personally, I feel it's more of a personal endeavor to use Blender. Just in my honest opinion, I don't feel it's going to be breaching out into the industry quite yet. You know what? Let's not go too heavy on this right now on the beveling. One thing I've learned is don't go too heavy on my bevels early on. Because all that means is more polys for you to have to deal with when editing. Give it. I don't even know why. Oh yeah, it's because all the internals. Because these TVs had like large pieces, I guess capacitors and stuff like that. Okay, so it's starting to take shape, which is nice. And we'll have a plug in the back like I had there. I'm just going to do a simple plug. I'm not going to do anything too fancy. Okay, cool. So we're going to use this and get a cylinder. And real quick, I'm just going to find where the middle section is. And we're going to snap the cylinder to the middle. And I don't want this to be too high poly, so we're going to cut that in half. I can't remember if it's this way or the opposite. It's the opposite. Oh boy, gotta love when that happens. There we go. Delete history. And we're going to fix these areas real quick so we don't have faces that are more than 4 sides. Oh, I forgot to select the TV as well, so I can see my reference. Do I have a bevel in there? Hold on. Okay, so it is a little bit inside with this being extruded on the outside. Okay, well, we'll work on that now, which shouldn't be too difficult. Good, it's just that selected. We don't really need that anyways. We're going to extrude this inside. Like so. Get rid of these faces because we don't need them. What is going on here? Okay, that's not correct, but not that big of an issue either. We can just delete this poly and target weld, and boom, fixed. Okay, that looks okie dokie. And I don't know, to get the outer perimeter. Oh, I know what I could do. This is flat, right? Yes, it is. Perfect. We're gonna get rid of that face. We're gonna extrude this. And then we're gonna connect. Well, if it connected properly, not exactly the best edges in the world, but no matter, it's just some easy fix. Like, okay, don't like that. Okay. Sometimes it doesn't like using the split tool after like deleting and connecting. which is really annoying. So we're going to get that in there. And we're going to add a loop in here. And that loop is going to help us extend. Easy fix always. Let's see here. The best thing I love about Maya is the edge flow tool. Oh, it's such a savior. Because what I just did, if I showcase again, it tries to find the middle ground from position to its nearby edge neighbors. So if I were to grab this loop, which is pretty high, and if I were to go to edit edge flow, it finds the middle ground and evens it out. And I can adjust how much I want. I can have 0, so it's linear, or it can be curved, which is at 1. Such a great tool. Just double check my verts, make sure there's nothing. It's like the relax tool. Yeah, I guess you can say that. Also, I didn't mean to make this soft, I mean to make it a hard edge. So that's the thing with Maya. Smoothing groups is just you soften or harden edges. So hopefully if I do that and I go out of you'll be seeing this pretty up close, so that's why it's not super round. In fact, if that's the case, I'm going to need this. I feel like I need it. Yeah, I'm going to keep it like that. Smooth as well. Okay. What would happen if I beveled this? Would that cause many issues for you, Mr. Maya? No, in fact, that actually is pretty decent. Okay, I'm going to keep that. So, is there any other parts that I had on here? Just that one line over here. Okay, that's easy. And then it's just an inner dip. Okay. So we're going to bevel, just so we get that split. Get it of segments of 2, so we have the middle. We're going to turn the fraction, which is the spacing of these, I'll turn it down to 0.1. Actually, we need it a little bit closer than that, so let's do 0.5. We're going to squeeze this just a tiny bit. Maybe a little bit more. Something like that. if we come out, let's see here. That was a hard edge too, so that's how it splits it off. Yeah, now that's looking a lot better. Okay. So if you're wondering why it's all black, is polygons are usually just one-sided. So one side gets lighting and texture information, the other side, if you were to look at it from that perspective, it would be just black or completely transparent. It'd be invisible, so you can see through the entire mesh. Having two-sided means both sides of the polygon gets lighting and texture information, but that's a bit more costly. Okay. So we don't need these. So what I'm going to do now is set up my bevels where I want them to go. So I think I got all of them. Just double checking. Can I talk about the... Oh yes, of course. There was an issue at the beginning where the screen was black and I couldn't show it off. So for those of you who don't know, when I unfortunately had that technical error, this is the environment that I'll be working, am working on, and that the television set is for. This is my hunter's cabin, which is in Unreal Engine 4. So I've just been building it using a reference image that I used for the hunter's cabin. Forgive if it's a bit laggy. The scene is very heavy in terms of the high quality assets that I have in here. I have removed all the post-processing, so it should run a bit better, but in some areas it'll run cleaner, while in other areas it might be a bit slower in terms of the frame rate. But right now I am concentrating on filling empty spaces that are in this room with visual interest points. So one of those that I started very early on were these tables. As I thought that if you were to live in this cabin, these tables, since you have a limited number of them, which in this room there is only 2, they would have a lot of stuff on them. So I thought of all the things that would go into like a hunter's livelihood, like ammunition, maybe old like technology, like that old rotary phone on the table. He doesn't have that many modern electronics in there. He may drink a lot, so he has bottles of beer on this table. Empty coffee mugs, cigarettes, bullets, shotgun shells, and the table would be dirty with like grime and debris. And just like water spills or beer spills, depending on what he spilled over. Maybe he's been writing a little bit of like places to go or things to hunt, so he has like a pencil with like some scrumpled up pieces of paper here. Just small things that once put together, they add a lot more interest and a lot more story behind it, even though that, when I thought about story is, I have to write down a novel for every single piece. Not necessarily. All these pieces combined tell a story. Each one individually doesn't have to. Like these paintings, for example. Or I should say pictures. So these pictures put together tell you a little bit about like the background of the person who lived here. And yes, these are pictures of me. And those are my dogs. So these pictures give a sense of like home and like people who lived here and a sense of location. Other than that, it was finding certain objects that would fit other objects, like a bookshelf needs books. So that was first ideas there. And certain areas of the shelf were elongated and made bigger so that we could fit other elements for the hunter's cabin, such as these trophies, which I had a lot of fun making. I tried to name the person who lived here as Roger J. Fudd. That's a name that I thought of after, oh, you know that character Elmer Fudd from the Looney Tunes? What if he had a son, you know? And he was a hunter too. So I thought of the name Roger J. Fudd. Um, I just put the J in there just because I wanted the name to be a little bit longer. Like Elmer J. Fudd, Roger J. Fudd. I thought it was cool. And then there's a small metal over there that I still have to texture a bit more to give a little more information about it. But otherwise, this tells you like this person who lived here is an experienced hunter who's done a lot around where he's lived and around the country. And it's just been going recently for building. It's been finding areas like this, where this little mini shelf, and figuring what to place here as it is closest to the entrance of the home. So I'm thinking about what would he leave, what would this person leave here or put here, or I guess take here whenever they are entering or leaving the house or the cabin. So I thought, okay, well, he'd probably have a coat, maybe a hat, backpack, keys. Maybe he has another weapon or firearm there. He probably leaves his radio on, or puts his radio there. Shoes. That's a soccer ball that doesn't have its UVs on properly, so it looks like a little black sphere right now. And the garbage can, which is simply put there in the corner because usually you don't have garbage cans in the middle of your room. You have them in the corner where you don't have to look at them very much. And it's usually the first place when he walks in where he could throw something out. And also to add on to story, I thought, okay, with this large pieces of wall that I've been building, let's put a map here and try to show where he's been and where he's going. So he's marked X as to his places on. This is a map of Canada, of places where he's been for hunting, and places where he's marked where he's unsure where he'd be going next, or what would be there. So he's marked locations of interest where he will probably hunt next time, or currently. And then the rest of the room is regular room amenities, such as chairs, stool, couch, some posters. He does have some mounted heads of the animals that he's killed. So we have like two different types of deer, one with the head looking slightly to his right, but our left. So right now, with the posters, I also have to tweak a little bit because they feel a little bit flat and they don't have that much depth in terms of what a poster looks like. So I will be fixing that. But yes, that is my room right now. And I will be working on filling in, tweaking, and adding in new assets like I was doing previously with this television set. So I will be working on that right now to try to get to a state where I can get it nice and UV'd and textured as soon as possible. So right now I'm focusing on smoothing out certain areas that need smoothing. Okay, so it has another indent on the back that I made. Okay. Huh. We'll have to do that first. I'd rather not leave it last, because that might cause some issues. Well, I don't know what happened there, but it seemed to have thought that everything was outside. So Stream is very laggy in UE4. Same thing happens on my stream. Sorry, one moment. Sorry, I had a little interruption. One frame displayed 2 to 3 minutes, then freezes. Yeah, we're still looking at the trophy at the moment. Uh-oh. Well, if it's still lagging, I'll just have to refresh the screen. Hopefully the stream does catch up. I don't know why it's saying that the fraction is all the way up here. It makes no sense. Please do let me know in the comments if there is any issues, or if it's still not moving on to the next bit. Oil change, hey, welcome. How's it going? Going pretty good. I'm currently working on my environment scene right now. I will show you in a minute. It's just that the stream might be a bit laggy right now. I was showing my scene. Are you in Cowtown? I don't know if you're joking or if I don't know if Cowtown's a real place. Why is it selecting all of that? I will say no, I am not. By the way, to answer your question. Save real quick. Oh, that's neat. I didn't know. But on Maya 2020, they actually shows you the file name first before showing everything second. Nice. So I don't have to look through the directory and find, oh, it's file 11. That's neat. Big lag. Ooh, boy. Hold on. I'm just going to investigate real quick, make sure that things are working. I've just checked, it seems to be working fine on my end. I don't know what's going on. Now it's fine, but it interferes. It's just not streaming, I think. Yeah. Now it's fine now? Okay, cool. Great. Yeah, UE4. Just small delay with my voice. What is going on with all the delays? Oh boy. Yeah, Hmm. I hope that's not much of an issue because I don't know. Calgary. No, I'm not in Calgary. I will tell you this much that I am in Ontario. Alright, so just to check. We have all the wires that we need, the edges that we need. And we have that beveled in, perfect. Sorry if you hear some background noise, that's just some people moving some things. Okay, cool. Oh, and that bevel's a lot better than before. We're gonna give it 2 to make it nice and smooth. Let's see here. It's 3? Yeah. I'm not cheap. I'm not going cheap with this. After all, it's about quality. Ooh. Okay, that vertice is not well placed. All right. So, with that, we now have this beveled out, but now we just have to move on to this area and this, which I will after I get these vertices all sorted out, because there are some like this, which are going to cause me a lot of issues. What the? That's interesting. That's just a lot of vertices that are not necessary, are they? Let's just grab all of them and move them for now. I gotta figure out what these all are. Okay. So that's again 3D modeling. You know, some things can go just right, and some things can go not so right. Grab you apparently. Okay. Welcome to the streaming world where bugs don't stop coming. Truth. That's the truth right there. And I'm not a major streamer, so I can only imagine like the issues that like big name streamers have when they have to broadcast to thousands of people worldwide. You know? Alright, so obviously this is a mess. This is not going to work for me. So I'm going to try to fix this. We're going to fill this hole and then I like to keep it a little bit. Just trying to think here. What would be the best way to do this? Yeah, that's a bit better. I mean, it's not going to matter too much. It's just I'm going to keep it consistent. Yeah. So hopefully when I grab this, it might grab. Okay, so it stops right around here. Yeah, not that big of an issue. It'll stay triangulated. All I'm gonna do is like maybe add like a small one segment bevel right here. But I'll have to see. Because right now I still have these areas to fix, which are gonna be lovely. And oh my god, that is one messed up quad. And then fill hole, and the way I had it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just all of them in the center. Cool. Big streamers are never alone. Yeah. I mean, once you get big, you most likely get contacted by people to, there's always this background tech person who does all that stuff. Yeah, true. But, you know, one thing that tech person can't do is, you know, make you instantly more confident. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Would you guys like do stuff like that? Because I don't know if I'd be able to. It's like stream like with a bunch of people watching. Feels a little nerve-wracking. Because you got so many people concentrate on what you're doing. Sorry, one moment. I have to just make sure that everything's all hunky-dory right now. So now, one more spot that I have to fix is this corner and then these 4 pieces in the back. Again, I apologize for the background noise. gotta be careful. Those, yep, there's pieces in the back. Oh yay, a piece here got deleted. Well, simple as fill hole. I'm just gonna segment. Okay, let me grab this vert and that vert. And make sure that these are all properly formatted. You might be wondering, why am I not just putting like all verts to this point? Well, I don't want too many to like stretch, because that'll cause like too many close edges will cause this weird artifacting effect. So I have to grab onto these afterwards. It also keeps consistency with the other ways that I've been doing it here. And if you're doing modeling, one thing that I always was afraid of was having triangles, because I heard that triangles are never that really good. It's not really true to an extent, so now I've been getting used to having triangles on my mesh when I'm modeling. It's just I do triangulation when I'm at a point where I'm like satisfied with the way it looks. And we're gonna grab, oh, hold on. We need to fix this, which is pretty simple, because luckily they're all meeting to one point. Just double check to make sure everything's all good. Yeah, now it's looking like a TV, except it has no screen, so you can't watch anything. Alright, and perfect loops, just as we want. So let's see what the problem is here. Okay, you know what? We shouldn't do bevels one for all. That's actually my mistake. I should do the front first, because that has a larger bevel than the rest. Oh, that's a big message. Let me read that. First stream is the toughest. After it becomes easy, just know that the nerve-wracking part of people judging your workflow is much less important than all the positive you will gain out of it. Imagine if everybody in the stream watching were students in a class and commenting on your workflow. The fact that this is virtually done can be more nervous for you. But just look at all the benefits it will have on your workflow efficiency. In 2 weeks of streaming, there's just so much I learned from others. Keep going, man. Well, thank you. Thanks a lot. That's really great points. Really, really great points. Yeah, no. I'm not that type of person, even so, to like say that, oh yeah, I know everything. It's like, no, that's not true. Not even close. So, you know, I'm always glad to hear what other people have to say, because all it's going to do is help me learn more and be more efficient and to make greater 3D models. And if I can help someone along the way, then that makes me feel even better, because then I'm able to share my knowledge of what I know to other people to help them be better. So, you know, it's a community aspect. So, I'd like to thank everyone who's here, who's watching me make this television set for the past, I don't know, 40 minutes now? Not too sure. But thank you nonetheless for joining in, if you're just tuning in. So I think around 1, I'm going to take just a few minutes to answer any questions you have regarding the work that I'm doing, workflow, stream, whatever you have. I will just take a few minutes to talk, and then I'll get back onto finishing this up. Okay. So what was the back one? Okay, so these are very slight, very, very slight. I think I'm gonna just keep it like this. Yeah, that's looking nice. For a second I thought this black line was like, oh, is there a poly missing? Did I delete something? No, it's just the fact that I do not have, what's that setting here? Anti-aliasing on. So it makes everything, every edge look pixelated. So if I were to go out, you can see it's not jagged edges. But if I turn it on, you see that it is jagged. And then, oh, it's this one that's causing the issue. Okay. Well, I think there's a simple solution for that. The winner mentality, well said. Thank you. You know, with me, it's just, I will admit, I'm not the most confident. So when things start getting down, I act like an ostrich. I kind of just dig myself into my own problems without asking for help. That's my biggest weakness. So, you know, I feel that, you know, streaming, and for anyone else doing that, it really engages you a lot more. And I'm feeling a lot more engaged right now, where I'm a lot more focused. It's still small. Why is that? Weird. There is something I could do to fix that manually. I'm just going to bring that in a little bit. Bring this a little bit. And then we need to bring this back. And this back. Oh, yikes, that's causing some issues. Alright, apparently Maya does not like me today. That's your problem. I guess there's just too many connecting points. Maybe I could, if if I wanted to. That might help. I'm going to add one more edge on the sides to try to bring those verts to another spot. And then we're going to go to contained edges. We're going to delete those. Okay. Apparently it still doesn't like me when I try to split edge. Alright, fine. Still awful. Let's go back to what we had. Try to fix it slowly one by one. How about that? Maya, are you okay with that? Yep, you're okay with that. Kind of stinks, though. You know? You think Maya would just, allow me to just split edge, but nope. It's having some issues. Hold on. We're gonna put that here. We're gonna get still showing up. Huh. I may have to rethink about how this is going, because it's causing those line issues there. Let's just go back to what we had originally. Very strange. Very strange. I guess just because it's so stretched, it's causing issues. Press delete and nothing got deleted. What's the point of the delete button if it doesn't delete things, huh? Alright, so this one to this one, bridge. This one to this one, bridge. Same with this one, and with this one. Let's see if it triangulates properly this time. And what do you know? It's not. What the hell? That's weird. It wasn't working just a second ago, and now it is. Okay, well, problem solved. Hopefully, once I get all these triangulated. Oh, it's once I smooth. So that's the issue. What if we were to put this back the way it was, right around here? Still causing issues. Well, I'll have to get back to that. Anyways, it is, why did I say 1? It's 3. When it's is now 3. If you have any questions regarding this, feel free to ask. I will answer. So let me see here. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm just going to be taking a minute to check some things before moving on. Seem to grab contained edges. That's a shame. This one. Oh, that's what I did. Ah, that would make a little bit more sense, wouldn't it? Hey Sean, great stream by the way. It motivates me a lot to keep going and working on my own projects. Well, I'm glad. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Wish you the best of luck on your projects. And I'm thankful. Do you have a reference for your TV? The image reference, I don't have it on hand. This is what I quickly modeled out. So as you can see, it's not fully finished with some of the buttons, so I'm redoing it. And there are also some aspects that I just didn't like this handle here, because you could barely notice it at all. And the plug in the back. So I'm just going through and making more improvements. Because the one thing I don't really like is once I have like a placeholder, I don't like going back and like editing the placeholder. I like making like a completely fresh new one that's like really rock solid. Just for my own like sanity, because there are certain things that I mess up a lot when it comes to placeholders, placeholder meshes. 2 edges, 2 contained edges, and then what we're gonna do here. Not thickness. It's offset. Offset it just slightly. Like so. So then what we can do here, whoops, I can't remember where bevel is here. Oh, it's bevel right, it's right there. We'll bevel it in a little bit. So, what we do now is, if this works properly, again with Maya not liking triangulation, it's having issues. Don't understand why, though. Like so, like, it's a bit disappointing. I guess just with n-gons, I just don't like it. Do you have a reference for your TV? Like a pure ref board with some references for a TV? I could show you my pure ref board. Real quick, since you asked. So this was my original pure ref board. So this was like very early on, getting ideas for props and other assets that I might need in my scene. Sorry if some of them are a bit small. It's because of the image size itself are very small in pixel count, so they just come in very small. So certain things like buck antlers, buck heads, elk heads, deer heads, a globe, a chest box, lamp. Originally, if I were to show you my original concept, funny enough, there was a bonsai tree in the middle of the scene, and I tried putting one in there, and just personally, it felt off. It didn't feel like it belonged, simply because this is a Canadian hunter's cabin setting, and we have like a Japanese tree in like this little pot in the middle. I guess that's trying to say he's cultural, which is cool, but for me it just felt very off. So I just put like some flowers in the middle there. I forget the name. It's like no, it's not dandelions, but it's like day something. DAE. I forget the name. It's a long, confusing name, but it looks pretty, so I put it in there. So this was like the original idea for everything. And so I took like a lot of like the placements for what my scene is. Like if I were to go back, actually, I'll go back in just a second. I don't want the stream to lag again, so I want you guys to just enjoy what I have so far without everything blowing up. You should always have a reference board open when you're modeling. Not good. Yeah, no, you're right. I did have reference for a lot of the stuff that I have. I guess this is just delayed. So I'm sorry if I'm reading these a bit later on. Um, the chat for me just feels a little delayed, so I hope I'm still answering your questions. So I do have like most of my stuff that I wanted block out. Like I even had like early ideas for the lighting and mood of the place. Though these are just like standard like cabins and like rooms and like very almost kind of like the Magnificent Men or that movie. I can't remember. Control Shift Drag makes images bigger. Oh, thank you. I did not know that because I tried looking for pack and roll resize to selection. My God, the amount of key bindings this thing has. Yeah, even one thing that I looked up is that didn't have in the image was structural struts. they just have wooden beams across. But when I looked up, like these pieces, they usually have either these like holes drilled in with them and they have these pegs stuck in to help support them, or they'll even have metal connectors, which are angled and then bolted onto the side of the wooden object. Or you could add something very Canadian here, like a poutine or anything that makes us proud to be Canadian. Oh, sure, bud. I'll just grab a poutine. We'll sit down and watch the hockey game, eh? uh, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll put an igloo in there. But no, you're very right about the reference board. It is very important for like as an artist to have something like that or anything like that. Um, I obviously do. There are just moments where I'm like, okay, I can do this, and I don't need too much. But if there's something that's required that has a lot of pieces, a lot of mechanical parts, and it's like very specific in its design, then of course I would look up and find reference for it. But when I looked up TV, it's like okay, I kind of know what kind of TV I'm going for. So there, I guess it's just a matter of perspective. But your point is still valid, so I appreciate that. So let's see here. Is it still giving me that stretching? No. Okay. Perfect. Sorry, I'm just being silent. I just want to move past this because love the metal connections. Yeah, it's the small things. It's the small things, right? Whoa, okay, what's going on here? Let's redo this, please. That doesn't look right at all. Maya, what are you doing? Oy vey. I forgot that if it's just a vertex, you don't have to control delete. If I were to control delete, it would take the whole edge along with it. Did I do this one correctly? Well, it ain't symmetrical, so I don't like that. Alright, you know what? Redo. Okay, perfect. Okay, check to make sure it is stretching. to visit that another time, but it's set up the way that I do want it to look. It's just those are going to require just a little bit of fine tuning to get rid of those artifacting right there. Just put one for now. Doesn't need to be too harsh. All right, well, it's very minor. It's very minor, but it's still, I need to figure out how to get rid of those lines. But now we can just bevel this real quick. Don't need it too wide. We only need it like, I'd say 0.15. Something along the lines of this. Yeah, that looks nice. So then what I can do next for the television is to make a plane, turn it around. We don't need width, but we will need height. And real quick, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in on my TV this is simple loop in the center, so I can get this snapped on right there, and then remove this edge. Alright, so now we snap this here. And then we're going to squeeze it a little bit. Can we still take down height? We can, because we don't need 10 segments necessarily. Yeah, that 7 feels fine. We're going to center the pivot, just make sure that's all good. And we'll place it like this far back. All right. Okay, so then and there we go. We got our screen. Looking nice, isn't it? All right, cool. Sorry about that. It's just my hands. Alright, so one thing I'm going to do to plug up the back, because obviously I don't want, for you to see through this. I'm just going to make a simple quad, just one polygon, and put it right in the back. We're going to center this just by snapping to the grid, snap to center. going to snap to the back like so. We're just going to make it real small because we don't need it that big. And there we go. That way we don't have to plug it in using this. We can just plug it in using a plane, save on the poly count a little bit. And then, yeah, like I said, for this, we're only going to do one because I don't need it that beveled. Let's just do this one first, and then this one next. Again, with the edges causing issues. Huh. Let's see, two faces, two faces. Can I, where's that tool to grow? Grow selection, there we go. Oh wait, hold on. No, I'm trying to get those faces. My bad. Nice model, very clean. Agreed. Also quite fast. Good job. Thank you very much, both of you. I still have some tweaking to do, but yeah, I'm happy with the results so far. Let's see here. Just need that much. Ah, shoot. This is just me moving the pivot. That way I can have it more in my general direction so I can see where it is. Ooh, that's causing issues, isn't it? No, that's still pinching. If I could get rid of you, would that still pinch? Yeah, it's still pinching. For now, what I'm gonna have to do . Nope, I don't want to do that. I'll just grab this edge. it is. Okay. So now just for the dials, which I have to bring up my little reference for that. So power, then volume. Okay. Okay. Easy enough. Easy enough. Oh, sorry. Z Dali on chat. Normal map will fix that shading. Oh yeah, that's true. Skip frames. Sorry. I have two things open up at once, so that's why I wasn't able to see that. Sorry about that. Oops. Set vertex normal. Sorry, one moment. Just fixing some thing right now. Don't forget speakers, screws, and bolts. Pack it with every little detail you can pack into it. Right, of course. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so now buttons. We're gonna get get those buttons out. Yeah, 20 divisions seems enough. I don't need to go too overboard. The back of that, because that's just unseen, unused polys. So now I got that. Actually, should I leave space for it? I wonder. I'll give it like a tiny bit of space, like this much. And then just like this much. Just doing that to separate it a little bit. So it actually feels like the button is like actually a button, not like jammed into the side of the TV. And then it's oh, these are just some knobs. Okay. So let's get this one done first. Make this just a slight bevel. Something like that. Yeah, that's nice. And for this, I wonder, should I make it like that? Or should I go something Yeah, they're usually just around this much round. One second, just getting everything. Not this. I think about it. Maybe not that much. Oh, that's what that one. So for this one, we just want to do very slight. One thing I could do is I could do the little legs at the bottom. I don't even know if you call them legs, but look like legs. What we're going to do now is detach so we can pull this off, but it's still one piece. And we're going to bridge one side to the other. And then we're going to, at the top, get rid of all these that we don't need. Stuff like that. We're going to smooth that, and we have one of our legs nicely done. And what we're going to do is we're going to freeze this, center the pivot, so that's right here. I'm just going to get rid of our history. And what I like to do is I like to duplicate, move my pivot to the center of the universe, which is 0, 0 in Maya. And then we're going to reverse it on the X to get a duplicate. On the other side, we're going to modify so that our X isn't -1, it's positive, and get our pivot back here. side. I'm going to basically highlight the whole object and say, oops, I forgot Z is the top axis. So I'm just doing a planar view of my UVs for this. And what I will do next is see how unfold works. It's not too bad. Then again, this doesn't need to be too perfect. Yeah, it's okay. It's not gonna be seen too much, so you know, it'll be fine. We're basically gonna do the same process here, UV, and then I'm going to orient this the same way. Are you expecting to start streaming weekly? What are your pro streamer goals? I will definitely try to do weekly, at least once a week, and most likely it will be weekends, in the afternoon. And my pro streamer goals, I guess just understand the fundamentals and the basics of streaming. I got the setup okay, but I just like to see how far I can get it a bit more, because right now, one thing I would like to do to make things a little bit more interesting for myself and for you guys is try to get some music in the background next time. Try to find something that I could use on here, but obviously I don't want to use something that's copyrighted and could get people in trouble, or other things such as that. But that's not really a pro streamer goal. My idea is every stream try to get one prop finished or near finished when I'm doing this, so that there's something to begin and something to end with in each stream. And that could be like just the modeling part, because the texturing part will probably take more than just the stream. Also, one thing I just have to be a little more attentive about is, because I'm doing two streams, one for my personal and one for the Academy, that you're seeing here. It's just I have to be wary of both chats. So there was someone in my personal chat that I was a little late to responding, and I understand that can be frustrating, so I need to be more attentive to that. So I apologize to whoever commented. And I will try to see those messages a lot quicker in the future. So my apologies. Okay. I'm just gonna bring it over just to get an idea. Something like that. Don't overpush yourself in the beginning. I'm not trying to overpush myself, I'm just trying to get myself a little more standardized. Especially since I need to make sure that I can commit to this, because I definitely do want to. help you with that. Reach out anytime. Well, thanks. I definitely will. I don't know. What seems fun, just as a random idea, is like collaboration. Like in one stream. But, you know, I want to make sure that I'm okay doing this right now before I move on to anything like that, or even be able to reach out to people for that. I think in just a few minutes, I'm going to call it after I finish these pieces. And hopefully by the next time, I'll have another prop to get started with you guys. And try to get that done as well. Get it right around here. What? Oh, that's going in. Let's just do it like this. Good old-fashioned way. Totally forgot I have my UV editor open that I don't need right now. I said that because some streamers who start want to do these 3-4 times per week, and after a month they stop. Yeah, I think that's just burnout. It's like you start so hard and then you don't follow through, which is what I want to avoid. Once per week, and if you're comfortable, increase the number of sessions per week is the way to go, in my opinion. Yeah, no, that's reasonable. Like, especially if you're starting. Like, obviously, I'm not a pro streamer, but I definitely like to have at least a schedule. Excuse me. Let's just make this just a tiny bit bigger. Maybe just bevel this one more time, and then just hold on. Grab this one too. Hold on a second. It would be more like this. Yeah, we need. So that transitions over because we had this sharp point. still annoys me. You have a Twitch account. You plan to leave having your own account for streaming? Oh, I do. As of right now, I have my own Twitch account. So you'll see me streaming here on GAA. And right now on my own Twitch account, I'm streaming this as well. So I'm doing 2 streams at once, which is new. Oh, excuse me. Alright. Gonna UV this quickly for the last couple minutes. But hope you all enjoyed. For those of you who are tuned in, and thank you, JB3D. I know who you are, but thank you very much for sticking by and giving me great comments. We need to do Y. I'm going to cut right here. And then cut right about here and here. God, I really should just put this on. That helps a lot. Alright, so for this one, I need to go underneath and cut bottom, and same for this, cut bottom. Let's unfold this real quick. Orient. Actually, I forgot these pieces, just to make it a little bit better. I do the top down view, not the front view, and then cut, and then unfold. Perfect, and now we go to check. Tiny bit of distortion, but not too bad. It is keeping a lot of the proportions correctly, which is great. And of course, this one, which is just the face, I can just unfold. That's good. And this one, oh, Jesus, that startled me. JB3D. Oh, I don't know why that startled me. That was so loud for me. Ugh. I think I just have my volume a bit too high. Maybe. Thank you, though, for the follow. And cut here. I forgot. I need to do the top. Cut. Unfold. Then I'm just going to lay them out. You'd barely even recognize it from a distance, which is nice. A little bit of distortion there. Now let's turn this more this way. a little bit cleaner because the UVs are very close together, touching edge, which isn't the best. So, yeah. Anyway,